Okay, hi, I'm going to show you how I get the 300 milliliter mark on my jar. So I'm going to go 100 milliliters 3 times to get my 300 milliliters marked on my jar. This is the third time I'm filming just the third time here of the last 100 milliliter. So usually what I do is I pull down. First of all, I just put a bunch of water that's filtered into this, and then that's where I pulled the water out of, and now I'm putting it up to bright light so that I can see where the water line is. And my goal is I usually pull it down a little bit and then I push it up to where I want it to be, and I want it to be just right at that line, but I don't want it to go up into this area up here. So just pull it up, push it up to about right there, and see how it's just hovering. Oops. You got to hold it kind of straight up and down. There. Whoops. Okay. Right about there. But it's not quite right down here, and there's there's a little bit of bubbles down there, not real bad. There's one kind of bigger one right there. So what I usually do, I just kind of see where I'm at like that, and then I take my finger, put it up here, and I use a knife. To get those bubbles out of there. And you just want the big ones to be out of there. Then I pull it back down and look at the water line up at the top. And that's about where I want the water line, but I want this dark, where it goes from dark to light. I want that to be even with 100. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to just drip out a few drops and then come back and see what it's doing again. And you only have to do this once to get that 300 milliliter line. So that's pretty even now with that darkest, where it turns into light. That's kind of where I like to have that even at eye level. There's another bubble there, so I'm just going to go like this. Usually every time you turn it upside down, you're going to get the bubbles, so you just have to keep the knife and... Okay, so I pull it down. The best thing to do is pull it down and then just gently push it up. Everything's straight up and down until it gets to that line up at the top. And that feels like that's pretty much 100 milliliters to me. So now I'm going to go over here, and I already have 200 milliliters that I put in there already. And now I'm going to do the third one. And I already have my line with a sharpie written on the outside. So that I don't have to do this part every time. I just fill it up. Just showing you how I got it to begin with. That's just so that everything is calibrated. Kind of like that. Okay, you want to sit down, and my partner's helping me. Okay, so the other thing is that there's a little kind of like a little ledge or something that's on that water, and I personally just like to have the top of that ledge exactly even with that line. So you see how it's kind of even, maybe lift it up just a smidgen. It's a little hard to see it on camera. But anyway, just make sure you do it the same every time. So that's what I do. And then this is the container that I use with it's got one of these in there. Oh, I gotta sneeze. But it's pretty wide. And it's a good jar for putting on there. So anyway, okay, so now I got my